Welcome to the Nelson Acacia Mine on the top of the world. We are on the tallest mountain in the southern interior of British Columbia, Apex Mountain, at my mine site here. I'm bringing my buddy Grizzly in to check it out. Today we're checking out this mine here. Tomorrow we're checking out the Mother Lode, one of Grizz's mines. We are off on a hard rock adventure, finding that juicy gold ore. Wish us luck, and I hope you enjoy. And here we go. It's a big adventure. Let's get to the Nelson adit first. And here we are at the Nelson adit on the top of the world, the top of Mount Apex. And here comes my buddies from Grizzly Discovery. We got Sibo, Grizz, and Mike today. They're checking out the site. So I'm actually out for 2 days with the Grizzly team here. Today we're checking out the Apex property here. This project here, Apex, is looking at the viability of purchasing this off me or optioning it off me and what the future might hold at this site. They brought their geologist, they brought their chief prospector and the owner, well, the CEO, Grizz, to check out the site. We're starting with the Nelson adit here because this adit here, when I tested last year, I took some rock samples around the portal and I took some samples from the dump itself and it all showed free milled gold. So this is exciting. The other section, see that rusty part way over there in the trees? That's the other adit that I want them to see. That is more copper iron. This is more gold. Hey Dane, what do you think of this view?
Oh, it's stunning. I love that the clouds were whipping past us up there on the knoll.
Yes, if you're up here in the cloud levels below us, you just see this white carpet going forever. Well, while everyone's in one spot, because we're about to separate off and go check out different areas, let's introduce everyone. I'm pretty sure if you watch my channel, you know Sibo by now.
Hello.
This is Grizzly, the CEO of Grizzly Discoveries. We all know him by Grizz, but his name is actual Brian.
Yeah.
And then we have Mike, the chief geologist of Grizzly Discoveries.
Token geologist.
The
Cheers.
token geologist. And we're all up here checking out the place today. We're going to separate off because there's many different sites around the place that we want to look at, and different people will be doing different jobs at those different sites. I think Mike and I are going to head over at one point and check out the second adit over there. I think Sibo is going up the hill to take some samples of the richest pit on site, which is just, maybe 80 feet up the hill. And Grizz is here.
I'm gonna sit in the truck and smoke a cigar.
There we go. That sounds great. Dane, what are you doing?
Whatever you need me to do.
Stand there and look pretty. Yeah. So what do you see here, Mike?
Well, some pretty gaudy sulfide, obviously pretty heavy and pyrrhotite. I don't know whether it's replacing, like it's kind of along the sedimentary layers, but it's hard to tell. I don't know if it's a fault in vein or if it's just replacement of like a dirty limey unit, right, in terms of skarn. So it's interesting that, it kind of looks pyrrhotite, pyroxene skarn is what buckhorn is.
Right.
So, and that was a very, that was a 1 to 2 ounce deposit per ton of gold deposits. Right.
There are 2 samples from here in the pit that's up above. One is 3 ounces per ton and one is 4 ounces per ton. But in the same pit, there was also 20 samples that had almost nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it's nuggety type stuff here for sure. I took a sample from right there. We took a rock out from right here. And we also took one that fell from the ceiling that landed here. And they were part of that crush that we did that showed free milled gold. So yeah, this stuff here,
that's loaded with sulfide.
It's got gold in it.
This too is loaded with sulfide. And then you hit this, what looks like this Hornfels, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is.
The country rock.
Yeah, Hornfels country rock, right?
And I haven't gone too far inside. I did bring my boots today. If anyone, Sibo, if you want to go inside, I do have my big boots, and you're welcome to steal them and see how far it goes. The other part of the sample I did last year is I just walked down this hill, and anything that looked irony I grabbed and crushed it as well. But what I want to do in the spring when there's a lot of water coming out of the adit is I actually want to take the high banker and run a yard of this stuff and see how much free milled gold is just sitting here. Because there's 500,000 yards of material just sitting on the surface here. Trying to find a juicy rock to show the guys. I want to find one of those rocks that we saw last time we were here that were just solid iron to show the guys. This one has a lot of iron in it. I'll bring this one up the hill. But I want to find one that was just solid. We had some, when we broke them open, it was just silver right across. Probably a pyrrhotite. There is a lot of copper in the assays from here. Yeah,
that's calico, I bet, right there.
Absolutely. Some of the samples came up to 7%, I believe, from the other adit there. We're just having fun breaking rocks right now, seeing what we can see inside of them. There's some good looking stuff. There's that one. Here, have a look at that one. When we crush this stuff down and process it, you can see the gold. But having the luck of breaking it right on a gold piece that you can see while it's still in its rock form, you have to be pretty darn lucky for that.
You do. And this is characteristic of pyrrhotite. Very weakly, ever so weakly magnetic.
Yeah, I think this came from, no, it's not the same rock, but same idea. You see the metallics inside. I think one of the jobs we'll do today, Dane, is I've got a couple of those rice sacks there. Yeah. We're gonna try to find a nice place that we can dig a bunch of this material, either right here or some of that stuff. Yeah. I'll take a bag or two back with us and we'll run it through a high banker when we get back to civilization. See what we find. You know, one nice piece of crystal gold makes the whole day, for sure. Okay, I think the whole group of us actually are gonna head up to the upper pit and check things out because, ooh, it's juicy up there. And lots of samples from that pit, if you can.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, you guys good walking? You want to take the quad there, Mike, or? You walk? Okay, I'm gonna be lazy. I don't know if Dana's really into the mining aspect of this all that much, but she loves hiking and being up in the alpine like this.
I love these trees.
The stunted trees, yeah. Yes. The stunted trees are awesome.
This tree, the trunk on this tree is pretty darn thick.
It's like a 100-year-old tree that's 10 feet tall.
It's amazing that things grow at this altitude, right?
Yeah. And in the spring, like this bowl here is just full of wildflowers. Absolutely full of flowers. Mike and Sibo down there got distracted with rocks. They can't walk 10 feet without finding a good rock. That's what you get when you put a prospector with a geologist. So the life of an independent prospector. This is what we do. We stake ground, we do initial prospecting out, maybe send in some assays, maybe do some different tests. But a prospector is typically someone who is staking ground, proving the deposit, and then hopefully selling it off to a bigger company that will do the actual real exploration. And that bigger company, like Grizzly Discoveries, will then hopefully prove the ground to such a big extent that a big major mining company takes it on and mines the site. That's sort of the process. The prospector stakes the ground and does the initial tests. The exploration company does the proving of the ground, and then the mining company afterwards mines the ground. Now, an independent prospector like myself, I am doing the staking and initial tests myself. A prospector like Sibo, working with Grizzly, they sort of skip that first step, and Sibo does the initial prospecting for Grizzly Discoveries. But Grizzly Discoveries will still work with independent prospectors like myself to get good ground. That's the idea of a prospector. If someone's getting a claim to actually mine the claim, they're a miner, not a prospector. There's today's geology lesson of the day. Old assays here show a lot of copper, but they also show a lot of gold. Yeah. Now, Sibo's gonna be taking some samples of this area up here so that you can get official assays done. Anything I have done in the site is not official, and the numbers can't be used for anything because I am just doing sort of the initial tests. But Sibo is doing things properly. It's all in accordance to all the rules. Right, Sibo?
That's right.
Here's a little adit, just goes back in a little ways, but as with so many mine adits, if you look just inside, and I mean just inside, there's a pack rat nest. Every adit has a pack rat living just inside.
You know, it might be all about the structures.
There's definitely structures. We can say that for sure. There's definitely structures. What they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your structural geologist? That was Tom, wasn't it? No?
Yeah, he's one. He's a mapper, structural guy, for sure.
Yeah, this is the stuff that we're thinking might be a chalcocite, might be just a sulfide that is looking a little different, very fine grain, but looking different than what we'd expect. But there are assays up here of up to 7.5% copper. And as Mike was saying, chalcocite is one of the only minerals that will give you those high numbers of copper. So we filled 2 bags. Well, we didn't fill 2 bags. We put some material in 2 bags so that'll be easy carries, because it is a fair good carry back out of here. And we will take that down to somewhere we have water and we can safely run that through the high banker. And we are hoping that we find a piece of natural crystalline gold, or maybe not crystalline, but how it formed naturally in the rock and just weathered out. You ready to carry those out, Dane?
Yep.
Perfect. I don't have to do anything. No, I will be carrying the bags. So this is the pyrrhotite. Pyrrhotite is a type of iron sulfide. It's kind of similar to iron pyrite. It has a different number of iron atoms attached to the sulfur than what you think of as iron pyrite. And Mike was saying they might see some sphalerite in there, which is a zinc sulfide as well. And this is the stuff that we're hoping is hosting the gold, because this stuff weathers away completely when it's left on the surface. And if you weather away the iron, the gold stays behind.
There's that pink, eh, Mike?
Look at the green, powdery going on in there. Do you think that green is some sort of reaction with the copper? It doesn't look like a copper green in any way.
Kind of more limey, eh?
Yeah.
And there's that pink. It's kind of pink and green.
So what you're taking right now, Sibo, is known as a chip sample, or a continuous chip sample, right?
Yeah, or a composite sample. I've measured 75 inches from here to here, and I'm just taking, every about 6-8 inches, I'm taking a little bit, and it'll give us a general idea. It's like Mike was saying, you don't know if the gold's here, so when you take a wider sample and you get a sniff, then you would come back and do more detailed sampling at that point.
Now, one thing I found here when I was looking through the old reports, we have some extremely good results from right here, but we also have a lot of results that have almost no gold in them. So what that's telling my untrained mind is that this is kind of nuggety ground, that the gold is concentrated in smaller areas, good amounts in small areas. So I'm really hoping that means free milled, and that those extremely good samples were when they actually got a chunk of that free milled gold in their sample, and they assayed it out, and that free milled showed that it was good gold, because I would love to see some hard rock nuggets come out of here. Well, time to take these bags down to the truck and then go see the second adit. Right there. I guess that would be the third for the day. So, Grizz, what do you think of being on top of the mountain?
This is awesome, man. Yeah, there's ore everywhere.
There is.
There, and there.
We got mines and showings and prospects all through this bowl here. And the 2 main ones are just something else. We're gonna try to get over to the other one right now. So just inside the Nelson adit, they pulled a lot of gold from in there. A lot of gold inside there. But we've exhausted this spot for today. Let's move on to the next. Okay, apparently we're not going to the other adit quite yet. We got one more sample to do. Right from the vein, right at the portal.
And voila.
Voila! One sample of the vein material from the portal.
Evidence of Dan shoveling.
Look at the red, rusty, nasty. Now the question is, will Sibo go over that? I don't know. That might be what turns them around. Well, I am very impressed with Sibo's driving skills here in his car, that he made it all the way in to adit number 2. This is something else here. Every dark rock you see is solid iron. Maybe not solid, there's some quartz veining in it, there's some copper in it, and yes, there's some gold in it. But every dark rock weighs a ton and is solid iron. And you know, Sibo is just, you know, the kind of guy, the type of guy who would probably venture into that. I would be a little worried about going in, but Sibo might just do it. So we're gonna see if Sibo's brave enough to go inside. It's actually wide open inside. The problem is the opening is only like 1.5 feet thick.
You know how many adits I crawled into on my belly?
You basically have to here, but once you get inside, you can probably stand up in there.
I still have my headlamp with me.
I got the big flashlights. I got a hard hat. I'm taking away your excuses.
Where's the hard hat?
So all you people that keep calling Sibo a wimp there, he's just proving you wrong today.
Who called me?
Only me. Only me and Cash. You can do it, Sibo. You can do it. The colors are wild on camera. I'm not sure what they look like in there, but...
Oh, whoa. You should see the crystallized, like, wall side here. Oh, I don't know. It looks so cool.
Oh, very cool. Wow. Whoa. Hey, one of my viewers, tell me what I've got in my hand. It's probably like a calcite of some sort, but
Yeah.
very cool.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Ew, there's some
There's a hammer here.
really gross looking shit in here.
You're making a great video there, Sibo. Great video.
You should see the bottom of this.
Oh, it's muddy.
Orange muck duck on the floor. And it's dripping.
Nice.
Look at this.
Ew. Very cool stuff.
Oh yeah, she goes back a ways.
Walls just solid iron?
Dude, the stalactites are like dripping black, like manganese. Oh yeah, these little flowerets are just beautiful.
There are lots of them?
Oh yeah.
I might have to harvest some of those for my website.
They're so fragile.
Although I don't think I want to go in that mud. Ew.
No, it is pretty gross. Yeah, can you see the whole wall is that right here? Here's one of the little stalactites.
Oh yeah, actual stalactites too.
Yeah. And look at these crystal formations.
Stalactites coming down off the ceiling?
Actually see it dripping live almost.
What are you seeing in the rocks there, Mike?
Heavy massive sulfide. You could see how people could mistake this for massive sulfide, but again, probably a high sulfide skarn with pyrrhotite and chalcopyrite. I have no idea what the host rock was.
Where? Yeah.
There's nothing left of it.
Yeah, there's nothing left of the host rock. It's just all iron and all altered here.
Pretty cool, and you can see it. This looks like a fault zone in here. There's a fault and sort of competent layers, but it all looks mineralized.
Just wait till you get up top. Yeah. It is something else up
Well,
there.
what's really cool is, right?
Yeah, that would be a magma
Yep.
intrusion up there that created the heat.
Could be post-mineral, and maybe the magma that gave rise to that was the one that gave rise to the skarn as well, right?
Right.
But this is probably later, but I don't know. That's biotite.
It's biotite?
Yeah.
Really?
That's why it's not rusting. Where this stuff is definitely iron and rusting like mad. Here's a great example of the pyrrhotite and chalcopyrite growing together. That stuff right there has a bit of a yellow or a green tinge to it. That is the chalcopyrite. That's our copper. The other stuff is silvery gray, and that's the pyrrhotite. And together, it's making the ore here. And yes, there is gold trapped in with both of those. Hey, how'd you get up there? Should we take the road over there? No, don't take the road. Just go straight. We'll just scramble up the rust. Every sample is just freaking awesome. And of course, I take every one I break over to the geologist instantly. What do I have? What do I have? Tell me, tell me. It looks different than everything else, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's brownie and resinous looking.
Sphalerite. This is a bit of our zinc content. You want a cookie?
I want the cookie.
Sibo needs a cookie.
I do.
Okay, Mike, let's do the nasty climb. Let's go up top.
Yep.
And we made it up to Dana. But more importantly, no, not more important, less importantly, We made it up to the upper. If you want to call it an adit, you can. It only goes in like 5 feet. But what this shows is that the mountain is made of iron. Everything you see here is iron. It's iron pyrrhotite and chalcopyrite mix. And there's a lot of it. Let's see if I can break a chunk off. Okay, I broke a boulder off. Okay, go break the boulder. Solid iron. Iron pyrrhotite. There's a bit of iron up here, eh?
Yeah. The iron mines, though, tended to be in the magnetite.
Yes, the oxides rather than the sulfides. Easier to deal with. Much easier to deal with. And I just broke one open over there just when I rolled down. It's just straight silver, side to side.
You can kind of see the boundary of the structure there. And it's all...
Yep, you can sort of see the other side of it too. Though where you came from, there's more iron over there. There's another deposit just like it. So it's not just limited to this one spot. And the white powder you see in the back is some of the sulfur. There's so much sulfur in these sulfides that some of the sulfur is just weathering out of it as it oxidizes. Solid silver. They didn't go in farther? Yeah, they just went in a little bit, checked it out, and said, yep, there's iron here. I just knocked the corner off this rock. Is the camera actually picking that up? That is just straight iron looking stuff. You see a few little blebs inside of some of the calcite and whatnot, but it's basically one side to the other, top to bottom, a sulfide of iron. Check it out.
Pyrrhotite. Wow. Well, there's a couple specks of calco in there.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Some copper.
This is a breccia, right? That's all cemented. So it's like this on a smaller scale. So, you know, these are little quartz chunks and little, it's just full of fragments, right? And
little fragments that got caught in the fluids as they were hardening into that big iron block.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's a lot of these are rounded. So they're almost like ball bearings in a fault zone.
Okay. So the heat was enough to probably...
It's multi-episodic, and these faults, every little earthquake, that's what actually a lot of people think activate the faults, right? A little earthquake, boom, it cracks open. These things brecciate, yep. They break, and then you get movement along the fault, and you know, some things start to round themselves with the movement, right? So you end up with these, they're like ball bearings in the fault. That is so silvery. I wonder if it's arsenopyrite.
Some arseno as well.
Yes.
Lick it and tell you. Don't lick it.
I've licked a lot of arsenopyrite.
Arsenopyrite is not dangerous in its pyrite form. Not too dangerous. Don't go around chewing on an arsenopyrite. Just because I said
around
so.
that carbonate vein.
Something is exciting, Mike, here.
Well, that might be what your gold is coming in with.
Hanging out with the arseno.
Yes.
So that piece could be showing us slightly higher values than, or maybe that chunk.
The chunk.
Rather than the just random chunks of iron we have kicking around.
Look how silvery that is.
Oh, yes.
Like, that's not pyrrhotite,
absolutely.
Right?
We haven't seen that yet.
No, that's really silvery.
Yeah, the video is really not showing what we see here in person. The silver that you see on that one is a whiter silver than anything we've seen yet. So it means it's a different sulfide than we've seen. And Mike is thinking it's possibly arsenopyrite, which often is associated with gold. Okay, we've had fun up here. We found arsenopyrite, we found chalcopyrite, we found pyrrhotite, we found all sorts of great stuff. Time to head back down the hill. We're having so much fun here, but someone is telling us it's time to go. Not Dana. It's actually Sibo's telling us time to go. Well, now is a case of driving back home. Dana and I will discuss what we want for this claim. Grizz, Mike, and Sibo will discuss what they're willing to pay for this claim. And we'll go out for dinner when we get back and see if we can make a deal. Hope you enjoyed our adventure out here. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I hope I earned it today. And a big thanks to everyone for watching, especially my patrons. Until the next one, bye.